My name is Hannah Walker. I'm a 37-year-old homemaker. My husband, Ryan, is a salesperson for a well-known company, but he loves his drinks and spends most nights at the bar. The only saving grace is that he spends time playing with our 9-year-old daughter, Sabrina, on weekends. Lately, though, he's been coming home late and has been quite reckless with money, which worries me. Because of our financial situation, I've secretly been transferring just the living expenses to another account. Hey, Ryan. Don't you think you've been spending too much on alcohol recently? You've also been coming home late. That's not true, it's business as usual. Well, I'm off then. Oh, and I might be a bit late today. Take care. Despite my thoughts that it's not just today but a usual occurrence, he said just that and headed to the bar again. It seemed like a typical scene, but I was wrong. While organizing the stuff of my drunk husband, I noticed something odd. This smells sweet. It's not alcohol, is it? It was the cloying scent of perfume. A bad feeling washed over me, and I reached into his jacket. It's an earring! And such a pink one at that, clearly for a woman. Of course, it was not for my husband. And, as if to show it off, there was only one. Even a hotel loyalty card was found. I decided to confront my husband. Hey, Ryan. Are you keeping secrets from me? And what if I am? Do you have any proof? I do have proof. I showed him the earring and the hotel loyalty card I found in his jacket and bag. You're having an affair, aren't you? But it's all your fault, you know? What? I know you've been hiding money in another account. Because of that, I haven't been able to enjoy my drinks recently. That's because you started using the living expenses for your drinking. Don't talk back to me. Who do you think is feeding you? It's thanks to you, Ryan, but that's because you wanted me to be a homemaker. That was only supposed to be a problem if you were bad with money. Because of your incompetence, we're short on cash. We need to come up with money somehow. After thinking for a while, it seemed he had an idea. He smirked. Right, maybe we should just sell this house. Stop! This house is a precious inheritance filled with memories from my late parents. Why? We're struggling with living expenses, right? Yeah, but that would be solved if you were just a bit more considerate about our finances. Don't blame others. Are you even trying? Plus, your dad said that if anything happened, we could just sell this house. Actually, this house is located in a prime area and could sell for about $6 million. I'll figure out the living expenses. Please, just don't sell the house. Looking at me pleading, my husband gave me a look of disdain. Make sure you increase my allowance. See ya. With that, he left the house. He's probably going to see his affair partner. The thought of divorce crosses my mind, but for the sake of our daughter, Sabrina, I have to endure. Hannah, regarding the results of your recent health check, we've discovered an illness. Without treatment, you have about 3 months to live. What? Only 3 months to live? Amid worrying about my husband, my illness was discovered during a routine health check. Without treatment, I have only 3 months left. Shocked, I returned home. I can't die and leave Sabrina behind. I don't want to die yet either. I have no choice but to undergo treatment. Mom? Are you sick? Is it serious enough that you need treatment? You're not gonna die, are you? Sabrina, you were here. Welcome back. It seems my daughter, who had just returned from school, overheard me talking to myself. I'm sorry, Sabrina. It seems I've gotten sick and need to be hospitalized. But I can be cured with surgery, so don't worry. I'm not going to die. That's good to hear. What worries me more is you, Sabrina. Will you be okay without me? I'll be fine. You just focus on getting better, Mom. I know you always do everything for me. So take it easy and rest in the hospital. Touched by my daughter's strong and kind words, I hugged her tightly. I'll do my best. Yeah, I'm always on your side, Mom. I shared the news about my illness and hospitalization with my husband, but his reaction was incredibly light. Even more so. Huh? Hospitalization? What about my meals? Seriously, what a useless wife. Oh, but if you're not here, I'll have more money to spend on booze. Lucky me. Go get hospitalized quickly. Take your time and rest well. That was all the unreasonable things he said to me. Then began my hospital stay. Surgery was necessary for a complete cure, but it was a difficult operation, and there was no doctor available to perform it. While searching for a doctor who could perform the surgery, medication was prescribed to slow the progression, and I endured the side effects with tears. Then one day, the phone's ringing. It was a call from my husband. It's been a week since I was hospitalized, and he hadn't even visited. What could he want? Hello? Hey? It's me. What's up? Don't tell me something happened to Sabrina. Huh? Sabrina? Nah. If it's that brat, she said she'd take care of herself. Anyway, I decided to sell the house and live abroad with my mistress. Make sure you pay the insurance money. What? Her name's Yulia, you know? Unlike you, she's a real catch. Always looking ladylike and beautiful, and the meals she cooks, like carpaccio, are so stylish. So when she says she wants to live abroad, I've got to make it happen, right? You'd want to be useful to me too, wouldn't you? So, I'll be using your assets. What are you talking about? Confused, I talk to my husband, but he doesn't stop speaking. Oh, and don't forget to transfer the insurance money too. Giving a useless wife like you a chance to be useful, I'm quite the husband, right? All right, that's the deal, take care. Laughing haughtily, he just hangs up. It left me in utter confusion. An affair and moving abroad? Moving abroad? Insurance money? I knew about the mistress, but hearing it so directly hurts a lot. But what concerns me more is, the house was sold. And what about Sabrina? Wrapped in a sense of despair. The precious house is gone, and I have no idea about my daughter's well-being. Why has it come to this? What have I done to deserve this? Have I done something so terrible? All I did was live my life as best as I could. There were times when I had to dip into my savings just to cover living expenses. Only 3 months to live, the house is sold, my husband is gone, and I have no idea about my daughter. I'm completely disheartened, hardly able to eat. Naturally, my condition worsens proportionally. Life has hit rock bottom. That's the only way I could see it. After a few days, worried sick about my daughter Sabrina, I wondered how I could get in touch with her. I don't even know if she's still at home. I should have given her a cell phone if I knew this would happen. It's 10 a.m. now. What would Sabrina usually be doing at this time? That's it, her school. I'll try contacting Sabrina's school. After calling the school, they arranged for my daughter to visit me after her classes. I'm relieved. I couldn't talk to Sabrina directly since she was in class, but it seems she's been able to go to school. A few hours later, my daughter Sabrina came to my hospital room. Mom! She runs toward me in a small trot. Sabrina, I'm so glad you're safe. Her complexion hasn't changed, and there seems to be nothing wrong with her physically. I'm fine. Monica has been helping me. Monica? The architect lady living nearby, right? There's a female architect living in our neighborhood, and my daughter has become quite fond of her. She seems interested in her job and has even started saying she wants to work in real estate in the future. I'm more worried about you, Mom. You've lost so much weight. And I heard from the doctor that your condition isn't getting much better. You've heard from Dad that he sold our house, right? That shocked me. My daughter probably knew about the mistress too, but she didn't bring it up. Yeah, about that. Don't worry, Mom. I've got it handled. Got it handled? What do you mean? My daughter started explaining with a smile. Monica, the architect, taught me a lot about real estate, and first off, it's impossible for Dad to sell the house that's in your name without your permission. Really? Yeah, but there's no way Dad didn't know that. He would have looked into it when he tried to sell the house. So, how did he sell the house? Well, technically, it hasn't been sold yet, so listen without worrying. After hearing from Monica that Dad couldn't sell the house, I had the same question as you. So, I secretly checked Dad's bag. My daughter winked mischievously. I found the business card of the real estate agent where Dad tried to sell the house. When I checked with that agent, it turned out Dad had forged documents trying to sell the house. Forged documents? That's outright criminal. I couldn't hide my surprise at my husband's actions, but felt relieved that the house hadn't been sold. At the same time, I felt very proud and reassured by my daughter's actions. I've put up with so much from Ryan, but I can't take it anymore. I could feel anger bubbling up inside me. I wonder if there's a way to fight back against Ryan. If you're planning to fight back against Dad, I'll help. Monica and I have looked into a few things, so I'm sure I can be of use. Thank you, Sabrina. It means a lot to have you with me. Just then, my phone rang. It was my husband. I picked up the phone with a bit of tension. Hello? Hey, you. Don't screw with me. It's quite rude to start a conversation with insults, don't you think? Huh? That's because you're useless. I can't go abroad because the money from selling our house hasn't come in. You did something, didn't you? I haven't done anything. Plus, you went and spent nearly $40,000 on the card. Just transfer the money already. My husband wasn't listening at all. Deciding that this conversation was going nowhere, I made a proposal to my husband. Where are you right now? I'll come to you. I'm at a hotel downtown. If you're coming, make sure you bring the money or whatever. Got it. All right. As soon as he heard my reply, my husband hung up the phone forcefully. Dad was really angry, huh? His voice was so loud I could hear it from here. Sabrina, there's something I need to discuss with you. Sure, I'll listen to anything. What if Dad wasn't your dad anymore? Would you hate that? Does that mean you want to divorce Dad? Yes. Sabrina seemed to ponder for a moment but quickly smiled broadly. I'm actually in favor of Mom and Dad getting a divorce. I've seen Mom suffer so much all this time. A dad who doesn't try to help even when Mom is suffering is someone I dislike. I really hate him. Sabrina. I couldn't help but hug my daughter tightly. And, if possible, I want to stay with Mom. Of course. I would never hand Sabrina over to someone like him. After that, my daughter and I discussed how to fight back against my husband. Once we had a rough plan, I got permission to leave the hospital, and my daughter, along with the architect Monica, headed to the hotel where my husband was staying. We're here. This is the place. The hotel we arrived at was a more ordinary hotel than I had expected. We went to the designated room and knocked on the door. Yes? The door was opened by a young, flashy woman with long blonde hair down to her waist. I didn't order room service, you know? For a moment, I thought we had the wrong room, but that cloying scent was unmistakable. This was definitely my husband's mistress. Yulia, that's my useless wife over there. My husband came out from the back of the room, glaring at me. Is this your wife? Seriously. Such a plain Jane, she doesn't hold a candle to me. She doesn't stand a chance against Yulia in any way. Yulia, it's cold in the hallway, come back inside quickly. Okay. Exchanging a passionate kiss in front of us as if to show off, the mistress went back into the room. You guys come in too. His attitude was cold compared to how he treated his mistress. However, I was no longer going to lose. As soon as my daughter and I entered the room, my husband started berating us. I don't know why you brought Sabrina and some woman I don't know, but you've prepared the money, right? I don't have any money. What? I told you to prepare it. I've given you so many chances to be useful, and you're still worthless. First off, why hasn't the money from the house sale come in yet? You must have done something. Speak up. I haven't done anything. Not done anything? Don't be stupid. You should know, a house in my name can't be sold by you. I see, so you said something to that real estate agent. That's it, isn't it? Like I said, I really haven't done anything. You're truly foolish. Foolish, me? Don't mess with me. As if forged documents would ever pass. What? Those documents were supposed to be perfect, damn it. Ah, it's all your fault. Just prepare the money already. If you do, I'll let go of all the ways you've been useless up till now. I sighed and handed my husband a piece of paper. What's this, a divorce paper? Yes, I want a divorce. I've filled out my part already. I had picked up the divorce papers on the way here. Wow, you're initiating the divorce? The mistress cut in, her eyes sparkling. Ryan, this is your chance. Now you can marry me. Sorry for making you wait so long, Yulia. Even in front of Sabrina, asking for a divorce, you're really cold, aren't you? My husband smirked and quickly signed the papers. I'll take Sabrina. Yeah, take her. A kid with you is nothing compared to how cute and brilliant the kids I'll have with Yulia will be. But are you really okay with divorcing? What do you mean? You really are stupid. It's about the division of assets. Now I'll get some money too. Great. The two of them got excited, thinking they could go abroad and even get married. Their celebration was halted by my daughter, who had been quiet till now. Dad. Stop it. I'm not your father anymore. Then, Ryan. You don't understand anything, do you? What are you talking about? Let me explain. My name is Monica, and I'm an architect living nearby. Division of assets applies only to wealth accumulated during the marriage. Since Hannah has been a homemaker with no income since getting married, you'll get almost nothing. And of course, Mom's precious house is not included. What? My husband's face turned red with rage, unable to believe what he was hearing from his daughter and a woman he thought knew nothing. Don't think you can deceive me with your nonsense. My daughter smiled sadly. Dad. You might not know, but I want to work in real estate in the future. Sabrina's way of addressing her father had switched back to calling him Dad. It made my heart ache. So, I've studied a bit about real estate law. My husband is a lawyer, so the information is accurate. My husband's mouth hung open in shock. This means I can't go abroad. That's the situation, so we'll be leaving now. Oh, and expect to pay child support. My husband desperately tried to stop us as we began to leave. Wait! I was wrong! Just not the divorce. After everything you've done to neglect your wife, you have the nerve to say that? My husband flinched under my cold gaze. Yet, it seemed there was a reason he couldn't simply back down so easily. Actually, I had a fight with my boss at the company. I was planning to go abroad anyway, so I thought it was a good time to quit my job. What? I didn't hear about this? The mistress starts to panic. But my husband keeps talking, oblivious to his mistress's reaction. Being jobless and broke, and on top of that having to pay child support, I can't handle it. Please, take me back. He pathetically begged me. I dramatically sigh and pull another piece of paper from my bag to hand to my husband. I could have left without saying anything, but I changed my mind. What's this paper? Read it and see. As he reads the paper, my husband's expression grows more and more rigid. Yulia Thompson.
Wait, how do you know my full name?
Yulia Thompson, living in New York, enjoys collecting high-end items and drinking. Profession is.
Wait. You mean you've been investigating me?
Yes, I had you looked into. The color drains from the mistress's face. These details had been gathered beforehand by Monica's husband through a detective agency. It was his thoughtful suggestion, saying it would be good to know about the mistress if a divorce was happening.
All that stuff about me was in the paper you gave Ryan?
Everything about you is written there. The mistress, in a panic, tries to snatch the paper from my husband, but it's too late.
You were deceiving me. What? I asked if you were deceiving me, you scam artist.
If it comes to this, then fine. Yes, I approached you all for the money.
Why? You said you loved me.
Love? There's no such thing. It's hilarious that you actually believe that. How can a man who can't even cherish his own wife talk about love? I approached you because you were a successful salesperson and I thought you had money. Plus, you said you lived in a house that could sell for $6 million. I thought I hit the jackpot with you. But now? A jobless man with no money is of no use to me. My husband's face turns to one of despair. Without even looking at my husband, the mistress attempts to leave the hotel room. Wait, Yulia. What do you want, plain Jane? Don't think you can just run away.
I never thought he'd be such a loser.
With that loud exclamation, the mistress left. The mistress and I would likely be speaking through lawyers from here on out. Ryan.
My bad. I was deceived by her too. So let's forget about the divorce, okay?
Like I said before, I'll be filing for child support from you.
Oh no!
That's how it is, so goodbye. Leaving my stunned husband behind, I took my daughter back to the hospital. I ignored the numerous calls from my husband and blocked his number. Sabrina, thank you so much. Because of you, I was able to fight back against Ryan. Mom, it's too early to thank me. What do you mean? I have some good news. Saying that, my daughter handed me a piece of paper. It was all written in French. Most of the words were unfamiliar to me, but I recognized a few. A doctor in a hospital in France? Reading that far, it dawned on me. Could it be?
Yes. With the help of Monica's husband, we found a doctor overseas who can perform the surgery on you.
Overjoyed, my daughter and I hugged tightly.
That's amazing. You found him, Sabrina.
My daughter Sabrina has been attending French lessons since she was young and is fluent in French.
Thank you, truly. You are my pride and joy.
I'm glad to see you smile, Mom. Was I looking that gloomy? I'm sorry for worrying you.
No, it just shows how tough things have been for you. But now, I want you to be freed from all the hardships. Your smiling face is my favorite.
Thanks to my daughter, it turned out I wouldn't lose my life. I continued my hospital stay until the surgery day was near, still confined to my bed. About a week after I fought back against my husband. He ended up being admitted to the bed next to mine. Hannah, I never thought I'd end up in the hospital like you. Seems like years of drinking have finally caught up with me. But at least I'm better off than you. I haven't received a terminal diagnosis or anything. He was still as infuriating in his speech as ever. It was highly doubtful if he had reflected on his actions at all. About that, I've actually found a way to keep on living.
What?
Sabrina found a doctor who can perform the surgery.
Sabrina did? How on earth?
I really didn't want to exchange even a word with such a man, but I saw this as a chance to make him realize how much he had neglected his daughter. You really don't know anything, do you? Well, of course. Our family was probably less important to you than alcohol. Oh, or was Yulia more important to you after alcohol?
That's...
Never mind. You don't need to say it. We're not family anymore, after all.
Sabrina has been attending French classes since she was little. But you thought being a good father just meant spending time with her on weekends, so you wouldn't know. So, that was it? Yes, with her skills, she found a doctor overseas for me.
I really didn't know anything.
Please, don't start apologizing now. It makes me sick.
I've truly lost everything.
You got what you deserved.
It's only now that I realize I've destroyed so many things by my own actions.
I stopped saying anything more. My husband also fell silent. There we were, two people in completely opposite situations. Later, I started receiving child support from my husband. Hannah Walker, we would like to conduct one more examination before you go overseas for surgery, is that okay? We need to send the test results to the doctor over there.
Okay.
Let's start the examination. Oh. Doctor, is there a problem? No, quite the opposite. It seems what we thought was malignant is actually negative. So that means?
Yes, there's a doctor in the country who can perform the necessary surgery.
The cost will also be significantly less than having the surgery overseas. That's wonderful.
Thus, I ended up having my surgery at the hospital next door. The cost was less than a third of what we had anticipated, and the surgery was a success. This way, those who had caused me suffering were cleanly wiped away from my life.
Mom, welcome back from work. I baked cookies in class today, let's eat them together. Welcome home, Sabrina. Yes, of course, I'd love some.
For years had passed since then. My daughter had become a middle schooler, and I had successfully undergone surgery and started working on my beloved illustrations.
I never knew you could draw such beautiful pictures, Mom. There was a time when I dreamed of becoming an illustrator. I used to secretly post my illustrations online in between house chores, and it seems they caught the eye of my editor. Actually, I had already been approached about work while I was in the hospital. That's amazing, Mom. What's really amazing is you, Sabrina. Getting your qualification as soon as you entered junior high school.
Sabrina, with her natural intelligence and diligence, had passed the exam with help from Monica, the architect living nearby.
Sabrina, you really are a daughter to be proud of. Mom, you might not want to talk about this, but Dad. It's okay. Yes, I've heard about him. He's drowned in debt from advance payments on his cards and alimony, borrowing money from everyone around him. Unable to bear watching his actions, people have distanced themselves. His mental stress worsened his condition, necessitating surgery. He's even received a terminal diagnosis. Yeah, but there's no doctor available for his surgery. He's unbelievably selfish. To beg for help from a daughter he no longer has any familial ties with.
My daughter must have remembered how she found a doctor for me. Without going through me, she said he directly contacted her, asking for help.
Mom, Sabrina, you can do what you think is best. Whether you decide to help or not, I won't blame you. And about that man, if things don't work out, he'll probably just find another mistress and manage somehow. That's true. Thinking about it made me hungry.
How about we have dinner early today?
Yay! You know, I really want to eat your meatloaf today.
All right, we'll have meatloaf then. For my lovely and proud daughter, I'll put extra effort into it. And so, we became a family of just the two of us. We weren't rich, but our lives were no longer as stretched thin as before, and we found room in our hearts to breathe. Every day was filled with new experiences, bright and vibrant.
I'm really glad I divorced him. Having Sabrina is enough. No, I want to live happily together with Sabrina. Me too. I want to live happily with Mom.
We laughed together in harmony.